Greetings, I'm Vaishnavi Dasika, and this is my final project presentation for Road to Shine program phase 1. And this is Project Silpi. The word Silpi translates to creator in my mother tongue. About me, I'm Sri Bhuvana Vaishnavi Dasika, a computer science engineer from culturally enriched town in Andhra Pradesh. I love arts, and I also love indulging myself in something that is bigger than me. My vision statement: a single point trade contact for authentic artisans and creators. Silpi, finding my vision, the journey of it. The user that inspired me is V. Sirisha, an 18-year-old girl, and she's a 10th graduate. She indulges herself in the family's weaving craft. She can produce 2 saris in 3 months, each costing about 8 to 10,000 rupees. The context: Sirisha, being a weaver, she could only produce 2 saris in 3 months, whereas the global conglomerates outsource their works to countries like India, and they can produce in massive quantities. With this, the companies can enjoy max discounts with high range of variety of products. This is destroying both ecosystem and trade of authentic creators. So what is the pain? Millions of traditional creators, as such as Sirisha, are dead-ridden, being unable to sell their products. The irony is that the products that are being sold are cheaper quality and are still costlier than the work of the authentic creators, despite showcasing their massive discounts. So the way and idea implementation. So I have considered the user Sirisha, and she's of Upada village. It's a village that is famous for weavery and producing authentic saris, which date back to 16th century Krishnadevaraya ruling period. So she's a 10th graduate who's indulging in her family's weaving business. So a massive production factory was just set up, and so came all the shopping malls. This conglomerate started destroying the ecosystem and the trade of all the weavers living in that area. So most of the weavers couldn't bear with these losses. With upcoming shops, the customers were diverted to the higher range and wide variety products, which are easily available than to find authentic products in a remote village. So these weavers left their centuries-old craft and migrated to work as factory laborers. So all these troubles were also faced by Sirisha, but she never gave up. She still continued to search for a solution, and she came across Project Silpi website, and she started learning from that website regarding the existing schemes, collaborations that she can have with other creators and companies, and the ways that she can grow her business. So all this business were recognized by the craft union of Upada, where all the weaver heads report to, and all the prizes were decided by the craft union leaders. And Sirisha managed to convince about the benefits in shifting to e-commerce and displaying their product out and showcasing how much of a difference that the Project Silpi can make. The quality was also recognized by the website, and thus has given the people a verification mark, a mark of authenticity. So what is this mark of authenticity? So when you're buying stuff online, if it is of lower cost, you wouldn't mind buying them. But when the prices of the products increase, we want to check for the authenticity of the product. Unless that, we won't actually buy the product. So this mark of authenticity is given by the Project Silpi, where if you continue to deliver good goods, help other people, mentor other creators, and collaborate with them in a consistent manner, then you get a mark of authenticity. And this helps in increased collaborations and offers and chances that they can showcase their product. So these are the screenshots of my product. It's not fully functional. It's currently a front-end website, and I'm just trying to show you the screenshots. And the basic idea was to create a dashboard that establishes a single point contact for artisans of all kinds. So the big idea was to connect all the artisans, but currently I am thinking about the weaver community of Upada. So it's in this context is a bit narrowed down while I was explaining. So the initial implementation is digital because of the limitations in the physical scenario. The key to make the craft unions register and give them a mark of authenticity to both increase the value of product and also make the customer feel safe. So this is the about. So if you are an artist or believe that your craft can hold integrity and value, so this is the website for you. So these are like test organizations, and I'm trying to connect with other organizations which are readily available, like Lepakshi, which is government registered organization, and it's a place where people can just search for that particular organization and directly collaborate with them, talk to them, and directly connect with them. So this is the portal. Here, this portal helps sort the government schemes that are already present, and each craft has a different scheme and different value of craft. So we can select craft here, we can select which state we are from and locality in the state. So where if you press the national schemes, you can see all the schemes that are available for a particular craft. And if you can select state and click on the state schemes, you can see the schemes that are just related to that state and how you can benefit off them. And local schemes is the schemes that you can have in a particular locality. So this is help, this is resources, contacts list, and donations is for people who are struggling, and we can keep up our dashboard where I can showcase what's happening in particular regions, even if a calamity occurs or if our trade collapses very deeply. Or here we can contribute as a mentor, or we can find mentors. This actually helps getting the verification mark of authenticity easier if you can mentor more people. This helps the growth of community. So projects, you can create your own project, you can display what you're working on, and you can ask people to join that project or contribute to them or book the project. So this is the login portal. So how did I find this vision? So my step one of this vision was I thought of empowering underprivileged and underrepresented members of the society. I did a case study on a girl named Sandhya, and then I shifted to empowering underprivileged through exposure. And basis on the interviews that I have conducted, I've concluded this idea. And the step three was to have and give people exposure through education, but it's a big task. So I need to make it something smaller that I could possibly do and actually implement. And step four is to economize the craft that they're already practicing. India is a country of rich culture. So there is a lot of culture in the entire world, but it's not in light. The traditional arts are diminishing with each day, and it shouldn't be the case with all the globalization and easier access. So then finally, I have concluded that I need to economize traditional crafts globally in both offline and online scape. But currently, I'm targeting on the online scape because of the limitations in the offline scape. And it's a long-term proposal, but the online scape is currently what I'm doing. So this is how I envisioned my vision. So I started with a single craft which has potential and is isolated. So I was connecting with the craft guild, which is also called as craft union, with the youth and educating them with basics, creating a user-friendly platform such as Silpi, and authorizing the guild, that is the union, with the platform so it can have a mark of authenticity, diverging to connect with more than just one craft so that it can have diversity, and finally connecting with the craft unions at a global scale. It's a long-term plan. So this is the final idea. And the technical aspects of this project are, For the front end and basic web development, I've used CSS, HTML, and JavaScript. And to accommodate e-commerce, I have used Django. And in the long run, if I want to make queries easier or to make the website more efficient and faster, I'm planning on using Python libraries, machine learning tools. So reflection on what I've learned throughout this journey. So initially I was in this journey of workshops with Road to Shine program. I have initially gone through what actually is well-being. And in primarily understanding what is well-being, I could identify what were the problems, what were the essential problems. Then I have identified a user context and pain. And this is the most important step, the actual benefactor and what process is going within them, what is the pain that they are facing. And then I have understood the user through interviews, and this helped me refine my insights, helped me find the idea that I've found, and finally to have an ideation on the basis of what is required. So initially, if I couldn't have these interviews, I had a lot of assumptions on what is actually going out there. So with these workshops and the journey with Road to Shine, I was able to refine my idea to the finest bit possible. And I was able to conclude an ideation that is basis on what is required. So finally, the three industries I would want to collaborate with is the Open Innovation and Global Collaboration ex Hiroshima Economic Research Institute. This is basically my idea, and this resonates a lot with my existing idea. So how can media be the driver for global innovation and collaboration between industries? So the second one is future of work style and Shinva metal. So how can we create diverse opportunities for citizens to discover their strength and power? This also kind of resonates with my existing idea. And the final one is the future of local and sustainable agriculture, Chagotani farmer. So this is basically the use of technology to establish sustainable agricultural practices to feed our next generation. So it kind of resonates with the society I've grown up in, and it also resonates with my entire being a member of a farming community, being daughter of a farmer. So I conclude with Project Silpi by a quote: tradition is not the worship of ashes, but the preservation of fire. Thank you.